And I want everyone to start turning on your cameras as well. Within first 5 minutes, I want to make sure everyone's camera is already on and ready. Like I also turn on after some time. The reason I also didn't turn on immediately is because first, immediately I'll be opening the files, looking here and there, and you might think I'm looking at you, whereas I'll be searching the files for the class. Okay, so because sometimes there are continuous classes and then one after the other, and if we open too many files, then the computer gets hanged in the middle, and the teacher is in out. That's also not a proper way of conducting the class, right? So it's better at first we just slow down and later on move very quickly. Okay, now please turn on your camera. It's already 4 minutes past. Okay, those who are late, more than 5 minutes for now, I've just been writing that down in the Viber because you can't be more than 5 minutes late. According to my timing, also exactly it's 5 minutes, and the standard time is also showing 5 minutes late for those remaining. After the 16th people, slowly the names are automatically recorded now. Okay, so try to make sure you're within 1 or 2 minutes. For now, I just considered 5 minutes for now. Slowly that will be also reduced. The ones who are the last ones, always I'll be just making sure they're punctual. Okay, now today, before we begin this, you already got an idea what we're going to do today, and then after that we'll be studying about them, which you will eventually know. Saksham, Rusan, I can't see you. Please turn on your camera. Sen, also I can't see you properly always. I can just always see your mask. Can you keep it little down? Yeah, yes. Because it's better that make sure, like, rather than seeing the ceiling, your camera is coming at least till this level. Mine also is, I think, almost to this level, so that you can see each other very clearly. Only when we move or when I move, it might like come like I'm coming too close, then a big nose coming near. Sometimes when the screen is too small, then only it might look like that. Okay, if not, Dava, you can keep your camera also little down. Make sure like most of your like you can just head, yes, just little, you can leave little space only above the head. Okay, just little space here. That looks more better. Now I can see the ceiling. Let's me not see the ceiling. I want to really see the faces. Okay, not how the ceiling is looking or how where is. Okay, so on screen you can see the question here. Write down difference. Did you write down? Okay, now can someone explain me what is the difference between a job and an occupation? I mean, what is the difference between profession and occupation? You can write down in the chat box also. I already told you before also, like all the participation or whatever, if I say to interact during the class, like I can be keeping a record of that along with the question itself. Or I don't need to even type the question because I know best my answers. Remaining can share. Who wants to share the difference between occupation and profession? What do you know by that? Noyon, camera a little down, if possible. Okay. Can someone tell like what is the difference between profession and occupation? Yeah, Edina, you can read that out as well.
A person doing occupation gets paid for what he produces, whereas a profession gets paid according to his knowledge and expertise. The profession is also an occupation when the person is paid for utilizing his skills and expertise.
Okay, yes, yeah, this is the exact almost answer. A person doing, okay, now can you all look at the screen? So here you can see the difference, like C tool also. An occupation, when a person is paid for his deep knowledge and skills and experience, that is profession. So a profession is itself like an occupation. They're connected. If whatever is that occupation, if a person is doing that occupation, but that occupation is like deep knowledge and specific skills and experience, then that is profession. If that person has deep knowledge, uh, okay, rather than just maybe some people are just constructing the building, okay, rather than that just building, there are engineers, architects working more for knowledge, specific skills and experience, okay, so that becomes more sort of like profession. Here also you can see another difference. Designing a house, okay, if
Sir,
one is, yes,
what it like occupation is more work oriented and profession is more knowledge oriented.
yeah, so it's showing because like we studied in like basic level, medium level and higher level itself, like also there most of those like medium and higher you can consider them in profession as well. And like if a person like is just constructing a house or constructing a building or anything, that's like occupation. Maybe the masons are doing, maybe there are workers doing that, okay, but designing like architects are doing or engineers, okay, more of those based on knowledge and certain higher level of skills and experience, that is more profession. So mainly medium and higher level of occupation that has extensive training and specialized knowledge, okay, so more education based, okay, then it can be considered as profession. So that's difference we just need to know before we move on to profession. We are trying to understand about the different professions of mainly medium and higher level in this, for this level. So I'll send you one video link. You can watch that video link on your own as well. After some time, shall I display? I can play out from here as well. What do you want? Want to watch on your own or me play from screen sharing?
Sir, I guess you can screen share.
Okay, just wait. Okay. It doesn't take time for me to screen share.
What is the difference between profession and occupation in English? A profession requires a degree or completed studies at a university or other institution of higher education. It involves extensive training and special knowledge. Examples of professions are accountant, architect, doctor, engineer, lawyer, and teacher. Notice how you need a degree or higher education to be able to work in these professions. To have the profession of doctor, you first need to study it for many years. Occupation is the job you are paid to do. It is the way you earn a living. Think of it as the activity that occupies your time and from which you receive money for doing it. Occupation is a formal word for job. In a perfect world, Your profession and occupation or job are the same thing. Unfortunately, there are people that have a profession but work in something completely different. Compare the difference. I studied teaching at university and I am a teacher right now. My profession and my occupation are the same. I studied teaching at university, but now I am an actor. My profession is teacher, though my occupation or my job right now is actor. Do you have a profession? Is your profession the same as your occupation? What is your occupation, or what is your job? Answer these questions in the comments section. Have an awesome day.
Okay, so there was a difference showing again between occupation and profession. Okay, what did you learn extra from that video? Anything extra? Let's reflect that video, just one line, a few of you. What additional thing do you think you found out?
Like for the professions, we need like an actual degree and like from the university and the college and all.
Okay, more or less, it is trying to say that whatever profession, for profession you need like degrees, you need qualification, you need all those knowledge, and based on that, if you work out itself, that is itself, all those things are part of your profession. But sometimes you have a different degree and you do it in a different field, then that is a difference, showing that like occupation is when your degrees and all those things are exactly not matching what you do. Okay, so that was the thing that was being told from this. So but however, like it's mainly that profession, in that profession you really need a deep knowledge and skills in university. Okay, only then that is an profession. If you have done your work without any degrees, qualification or anything, that is not a profession, but that is considered as an occupation. Okay, Janice, Saksham and Adrian, I can't see you. Adrian, I can see the ceiling. Please make sure like your face is seen, your full face is seen. Try your best to make that possible. Okay, like mine, although I might be still close, if I keep it a little far, then the controls of keyboard and mouse are not in my hand, and sometimes the screen also becomes too small for me to see. Adrian, put your camera a little down. You guys already know the consequences, what has been written in the principal's message to you. Okay, that has been posted in your Viber groups. Adrian, I can't see you fully. Make sure you're in the almost center of the camera, like you take a portrait, like that way. Okay, at almost at the center. Okay, so that's the difference between occupation and profession. Now we'll continue with the profession. We have different professions. So these are the difference. You'll be getting a PDF format of this and you watch this video. Okay, we have different professions relating to medical professions, engineering profession, agriculture professions, education, finance, tourism, public services. Here I didn't do too much brainstorming, but I'm going to check a prior knowledge now. Okay, do you remember studying this in grade 6 and 7? Relating to medical, engineering, agriculture, education, finance, tourism, public service. Do you remember studying in grade 7? Yes. So in grade 7, you had studied classification of occupation based on sector. When you studied sector, you studied about medical occupation, where you studied about importance of medical science, areas of medical occupation, such as like nursing, basic medical, okay, pathology, pharmaceutical, Ayurveda, homeopathy, natural healthcare. All these things you studied as like a medical occupation in grade 7. And similarly, like you studied in engineering, like when you studied engineering, you studied about the importance of engineering, branches of engineering. So in the branches right now we have civil, mechanical, chemical. Sorry for the spelling mistake. I still have not edited this. Electrical, computer, and again repeated it. Electrical, aeronautical, architect. Okay, all these are different like fields of engineering. That's what you studied in grade 7. And same way with, and what are the additional things that you studied in engineering in grade 7 rather than what is over here?
So we studied this much only. Not more.
Surveyor, overseer, sub overseer. Do you remember that? Those terms?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's just to make sure more and more vocabulary is with you so that it is a part of like improving, showing your is going to be important later on. Okay, when you have to go sometimes for the study English testing, then at that time more vocabulary means better. Okay, now next agriculture. On the basis of agriculture, you studied about same way like importance. Okay, and in that we had studied about which can you remember what did you study in grade 7 in agriculture occupation? Is this a recall before we begin grade 8 course?
Agricultural expert.
No, it's already here rather than what is written here. Something different than the script. That you studied in grade 7. Did you study about the JTA, Junior Technical Assistant? Okay, that was about.
Sir, I guess in grade 6.
Okay, grade 6 also you must have studied. So grade 7 also it was there. So JTA, Junior Technical Assistant, Junior Technician. Okay, all those, so that those were working in agriculture. And same way with education. In education, what you studied? Is it the same? Anything different than this?
Yes, sir.
What was that? What were they?
Sir, I'm saying it was the same.
Okay, it was same. Okay, teacher, professor, and principal type of things. Assistant worker or facilitator, assistant workers for primary child development center, assistant workers of informal education. All these different things were in education. And same way in finance. Anything different than this? In case of finance, financial sector occupation, what you studied in case of finance? It's the same thing of 7, just like a basic, minimum basic plan. Okay, if you had to study, it's like a minimum basic plan type of thing, recalling on prior knowledge of grade 7 and 6, so that you think, so it becomes easier. It's the same thing being repeated, but little higher level. So you studied about accountant, assistant accountant, additional, right? So those are other occupations, financial related occupations. And same in tourism. Can you remember any other occupation that you studied in tourism?
Maybe the guide.
Yes, guide.
Trekking guide.
Trekking guide. Cook also you studied, isn't it? So those were the things. And finally, in public services.
Volunteer.
What did you say?
Volunteer.
Volunteer in case of public services. So in case of public services, you studied about office assistant, Karyalaya Sahayogi, that's in Nepali, and that's what they're working in government offices as well. The things which are here is the thing which we are going to study: chief district officer, district education officer, manager. But I want you to just recall of last year. Okay, it's just to make sure things have been connected and you're still understanding with that same thing. So office assistant was like you studied about office assistant. So this is just to make sure you understand what was taught in grade 7 as well. So this year we'll be studying these things mainly, that's what written here. All this medical, pharmacy, doctor, ophthalmologist, dentist, nurse, same in engineering. You already understood what they mean. What is engineering to what is the importance of engineering, agriculture, education, finance, tourism, and public service. So we'll not try to be repeating same things of grades 7 again and again, and because we have a different syllabus to cover for this year. Okay, are you clear about the different professions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, whatever is here. Now we'll study in detail, more in detail about these topics. If you have to like, let's do a quick recall also. So so far you already understood the difference between medium and higher level, because we'll be studying about them. That is your assignment as well. So in medical profession related occupation, you are shown in medium and higher level. In medium, you are shown relating to health assistant, staff nurse, okay, and same way in higher, you are shown doctor in case of medical profession related occupation. So finally, like now we are going to study in detail about medical profession, and you already saw all those professions we'll be studying. So in medical profession related occupation, this is concerned with health, and this has a very good scope. They have a scope because people really take health really seriously, because they want to survive, and when they have to survive, they can even pay more amount. Right now, in case of COVID also, you can see like the hospitals are charging high or low, we cannot exactly say, but it seems higher than what they must be charging, and the people are paying because they want to survive, isn't it? Main thing is they want to survive, that's why they are paying. But from a hospital's perspective, they might think the doctors, the nurse, their people are also at risk, or maybe there's no exact what is the reason why they are charging so high. Like, it's because maybe one of the thing is that it's difficult for them to mobilize the human resource, because even the medical people are like quite concerned about it earlier. Okay, and at the same time, this is the best, like for someone, this is the best time to even earn, and they are doing that. Some are doing like a business, some are doing as a service, but you can see health profession, they really like earn, because like people might compromise in education, they might compromise in other things, but health they won't compromise. They will pay how much they have, isn't it? So that's why there's a good scope of health sector. Okay, if you study health and if there's a good demand and you're one of the best person, that's going to be one of the highest paying profession. You'll have to be like competitive with the market. Then if there is a demand of you, then more and more people, they might be paying how much, like even if it's higher, they might be paying based on your expertise. Okay, that's why like medical profession is one of the scope as well. Do you think the reason that's why the people even pay more for health? Why do you think like people? Yes.
Sir, like that people pay more for like this health and all because they want to survive and they are ready to do anything so they can survive and live longer, because it's everyone's desire to live longer.
Yeah, what's the use of leaving the money, whatever you have earned, and just die, right? Whatever they have earned, whatever is of ancestor, they will try to utilize, or whatever is there to at least live. And that's why health sector has a good scope if we really can, if you can really understand that science things to work as well. Okay, if everyone is doctor, then there's no scope. Of course, the best ones will be only selected among that. and you also study, everyone studies, and later on you'll get getting normal salary like even teacher in some of the hospitals. Okay, because like there has to be a demand also, and you have to be able to work out very well. Okay, now looking at some of the salary or listening to some of the skills in some of the hospital. Maybe it's because they are just normal. They have done MBBS. They have passed in biology also in just pass marks with 35%, and then they become a doctor. And how will they be paid high? And they can't work properly. How will the hospital plan to pay them high, right? They have studied because they had money. They studied MBBS, but they couldn't still perform. But their name is written Doctor So and so. Still, I myself get afraid. Okay, win-win. What is the level? Just because there is DR, how to trust at times. Okay, now because there are several cases people are dying in hospital. It's because of maybe their level was not enough, or maybe sometimes accidents happen. Like some cases are already critical, doctors can't also work out. Some cases is because negligence of the doctors as well. Some cases it's out of control also. Okay, so you can see, but people pay. Okay, that's why this there's a good scope of medical profession, and people really want to uh, survive. That's why this health related field is one of the good scope, although all fields are necessary for us. Since we're starting with this, I just told some scope of health. Now, here different pharmacists, doctor, bachelor of medicine, bachelor of surgery, ophthalmologist, dentist, nurse. Have you heard these terms before? Is there any word here which you just think you have never seen this before?
So, like, is
No, sir.
ophthalmologist like the doctor of thing?
Doctor of
No, he is
Eyes.
like eyes.
eyes,
Yes.
yes, exactly. So ophthalmologist is relating to doctor of the eye, like you have heard of Dr. Sandukrit. Have you studied about him? Either in Nepali or some other places, there are like Jivani about him, Dr. Sandukrit. Even in like social studies, contemporary places, also it's kept there in some of the books. Okay, like he's the one working for eye, and he has given vision to many people, social service, more or less of community service. Even his son is right, I think ophthalmologist right now relating to eye. His son, I knew him because he was in the same school. Okay, Dr. Sagar Ruit, that was his son. But I also didn't know Dr. Sandukrit at the time when he was studying, but later on only I came to find out about that person who was Sandukrit later on only. Okay. Okay, now, so here, where do you go if you have to buy medicine when you are sick? Can you just tell the name of the pharmacy that you are nearby? Just write it in the chat box. I just want you to recall that you are aware or not of the pharmacy. Nearby pharmacy, if you know the name, write down the name, and if not, at least the location, how much you remember. Don't just write Kathmandu, Bhaktapur, or Lalitpur. Just try to write at least the local place name also. So I also get more or less idea about, oh, we are living in these areas. Most of the students are in this area. So I will also get ideas quickly. Okay. So try to write. It will be good for you also, for me also to know from the activity about you. You have 1 minute. If you don't remember the pharmacy's name, at least location of that place is enough for me to at least understand you have been to a pharmacy. Okay, we have various answers coming here. So I think we've already visualized what do you do in a pharmacy? If you go there, what are the things that you think?
Sir, sell legal drugs and medicine.
Okay, so they're selling legal drugs and medicines. Okay, mainly you go there to buy them. Sometimes normally when you don't really need a doctor's prescription, if it's simple, you go directly and take it, and they also give. But at times they're not allowed to give without any doctor's prescription some of the medicines. It is illegal that they give some of the medicines without doctor's prescription. They are not the doctors. Okay, doctors are the only ones to prescribe them. Or sometimes even if they like, and there are pharmacies in hospitals as well. Like you go to B&B hospital, there is a pharmacy section where all the medicines are kept there. First you go to the doctor, doctor does the checkup, doctor checks the, let's say, the sense for any technical type of, like if there needs to be any culture of the blood or any case tool test to any test. Okay, then after a few days, okay, after the culture or growth of any bacteria or whatever they check out, then they see the condition and the doctor prescribes the medicine. And after the prescription is done, then you could go to the pharmacy of that hospital itself and collect the medicines. So that's there's a pharmacy within the hospital as well. So that's where you go and collect medicines. And another thing about pharmacy, okay, like okay, before I tell everything, I'll show you one more video based on pharmacy, so you'll understand from this itself, and then we can discuss, okay, about that. Okay, what is a pharmacy?
Hi, welcome.
Okay, she will itself tell about what is a pharmacy, okay, and then I will explain whatever you feel is confusing. Okay, she told about pharmacy, and she told about like what is a pharmacy definition according to their law in their country. Okay, same way, things are also defined in our laws and regulation, like what is a pharmacy, what is the objective of them, what they can do, what they are not allowed to do, whether it be school, whether it be pharmacy, whether it be any NGO, all things are defined by the law. Okay, what is the area that they can do? And same way pharmacies also, it's written like same way what are the objectives that they can do. And same way it's all about, like, they work in the production of medicines, medications. There are pharmaceuticals in the country, okay, various places. Some you can see in Birgan, some you might have seen around in Bhaktapur area, where There are different areas of pharmaceutical companies, Deuralizanta Pharmaceuticals. Okay, different pharmacies are producing various medicines. And then after that, with the help of pharmacists, also they produce there, and same way with the pharmacists also, they sell it to the doctors. They go and educate the doctors regarding the medicines, how they have made any new medicines or just an old composition, everything. They try to go and convince also regarding the medicine. Okay, that's a part of pharmacist work also. Starting all the way from production. It's not that everyone will be working in the production. Like when there's too much demand, when there's like too much supply of pharmacists in the market, then they have to work even other jobs, isn't it? Like sometimes you see nowadays, like nowadays even in the school you can see, just to teach for the school level till grade 8 plus 2 is enough. 9 and 10 bachelors is needed. But you can see because of many people studying nowadays, they look after masters even itself directly for school, whereas masters level student will be the ones teaching 11, 12 and higher level till masters itself. But looking at the supply, when there's too much supply, then they have to do even the level lower than that, because there's too much supply, because most people are already educated to that level. So same in pharmacist case also, some of them, they are helping out in the marketing to everything also, and it's best that they do the marketing also at the same time, because they can convince the doctor. They have studied as well along with production, so they can educate the pharmacy also where they are selling as well. Okay, like some of the ones who are working in the pharmacy itself selling, they want to know what is the new composition of medicine, how it has been made, and what are the effects and what could be the side effects. Everything has to be educated, and whom to give, whom not to give those type of medicines. Okay, so that's all done by a pharmacist. So they know the most of the thing is they understand about the composition of pharmacists, composition of the drugs or medicine, whatever we have. And that is what you will be studying from pharmacy, because you'll be studying about chemistry, all the chemical composition, okay, and what ratio it is, and how much is needed for the body, what everything is part of the course itself. Same way with zoology, botany, health, education, healthcare system, first aid, pharmaceutics, biochemistry, microbiology, all these things they'll be studying, okay, when they study. And to study this, when do you study this pharmacy subject? After? When do you study this? After SE or after +2?
+2.
After
Okay.
+2.
+2.
Okay, you can, yes. One of the thing is after +2, most of the people are seen to be studying pharmacy after +2. After +2, 12 in science, they study for 4 years, and that is known as bachelor's in pharmacy. After +2 is bachelor's, so that is automatically bachelor in pharmacy. And there is, you can study even after SE, but not that bachelor's. You can study diploma in pharmacy, that is 11 and 12 equivalent, PCL level equivalent. PCL means proficiency certificate level, that is 11 and 12 level equivalent. Is that clear? So that after diploma, then again they have to study bachelor. So if they have to go higher level, then that's again bachelor. So that's the requirement to study. And after you study, then they are registered in Nepal Pharmacy Council, and then only they can start working. If not, they cannot work and sell medicines. The people who are selling medicines in the market, pharmacy, if they don't have that certificate, it is illegal. If the person is selling,
So the
maybe
time
there is
is
some.
over.
Okay. Okay, is that clear about pharmacy and a pharmacist?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll be
Yes.
giving you question number 3 and 4 of in the Google Classroom, page 20. So that's based on what we did
Okay,
today.
sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.